You can ask me anything. Let's get started.
Should we speak about everything when it comes to personal branding?
That's the thing about personal brands, is that there's not just one thing that makes you you. It's your entire personality, everything that you're interested in. So what I would say is just talk about everything that you're interested in, kind of like what I do. And then I think you'll figure out of everything that you talk about, what is the thing that people are interested in hearing about. When I started working with some personal brands, I started realizing that like a lot of people that come to us was like these ex-CEOs or like billionaires. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, what? Like, why are these successful, super successful entrepreneurs that's already built like multi-million-dollar businesses trying to like build a personal brand? And then you see it, right? You see like Ray Dalio, you see Kevin O'Leary, and you see all of these people doing it. And it's because people are starting to realize that that personal brand is actually more valuable than business brands. Like when Kylie Jenner like started her lipstick line, and she just overnight became a billionaire, things like that, right? That's why I think personal branding is ultimately going to be like the future of all branding.
What's been one of your greatest challenges and how did you overcome it?
That's a great question. Okay, so I don't think businesses are like, oh, you have this one great moment and then you have this huge challenge, and then like that's not how business works, right? You're faced with challenges almost on a daily basis. All of my challenges, if I look at it, all have to do with like my ego. It's going to be the same for you guys. Like almost all of the challenges that you face in life or business or anything like that is going to have to do with ego. Whether you get into a conflict with somebody, whether you lose a business or whatever that happens, it's your ego that's getting hurt, or it's your ego that's causing that to happen, or something like that. So for example, like if it's hard for me to like fire somebody, that's also because my ego, right? Because I don't want this person to hate me or something like that.
You told me solving problems might be my passion. As an engineering student, that mindset has really helped me, but where do I go from here?
Don't overthink it, right? Don't worry so much on what you want to be or what your identity is, right? Think more about the individual tasks that you're passionate about, right? The thing that you're doing every day, right? Like instead of thinking about like, oh, I'm passionate about being a chef, you should be passionate about cooking. So, and you can cook every day, right? Because if we just keep focusing on who we want to be, at some point, we're going to get bored of that.
Personal branding or own a business like a creative company.
I think even if you're going to create a company like a product business, I think you should still build a personal brand. Because Richard Branson has a personal brand, it's far easier for him to start a new business. And I mean, the perfect example is like I said before, right? Kylie Jenner's like cosmetic line, she just created a cosmetic line and overnight it became a success because she already has a brand. People trust her.
Have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome? If yes, how did you overcome it?
So yeah, I mean, I deal with imposter syndrome every week. That's something that's normal that you're supposed to go through if you're making improvements, right? If you're trying to do something good, right? Whenever you talk to somebody that's like at the top of their game, right? Like the best designers, the best actors, the best musicians. Like there's a reason why those people are up there. It's because they think that whatever that they're doing, they never think that it's good enough. So therefore they're constantly trying to improve. The fact that you're gonna have imposter syndrome is normal. So I have imposter syndrome once a week at least. Okay, so I go through these phases where like every week, right? Like I'll crawl up, I'm like, oh, this is pointless. Like what the fuck? I'm not saying anything new. Like this is not working, or this isn't really work. Like whatever that is, right? The way I overcome it is through action. I just have to put my head down and start working on whether like even like something manual labor, right? Even if it's like just me designing something stupid, or me just writing an email or something, some kind of like basic task, whatever, making piece of content or editing video, whatever it is gonna like further me incrementally, tiny little bit to the next step. Once I start once I start working, all of that disappears, right?
Have you worked with any Indian creatives? How was your experience like?
I work with the Indian designers and developers. The previous company that I worked in, we had an office in Hyderabad, India. And I don't think there's any different, like there is some difference in terms of like little things, right? Like, if I work with a designer offshore or something like that, there are little subtle differences, right? The way you spell certain words in like the British way versus the American way is a little bit different. Maybe the way you do the time or how you do the address, like there might be subtle little differences. Overall, humans are human, right?
What do you think is the future of digital marketing?
This is what I think. There's two sides to marketing. There's the creative, and then there's the data, art and the science of marketing, right? You know, with all the tools like the A/B testing, the analytics tools, and collecting data and shit like that, that part has been a big side of digital marketing. But I think it's gonna come to a point where all of that is gonna be managed by AI. If what makes you unique as a marketer is the fact that you can look at data and you can A/B test and you can see what, like, AI is gonna be able to do that job. The future of digital marketing, I believe, is all storytelling. I will answer more questions next week if you come back next week, and that's it. Thank you all. Bye everyone.